You've been fishing the Wacky rig, but you're still missing bites and you're tearing through baits like crazy. Odds are you're making one of these 3 mistakes. Hang around, guys. I'm gonna show you how to save time, money, and have you catching way more bass in no time flat. And there we go, right off the get-go. We got a giant. The first big mistake is using the incorrect hook. A lot of anglers grab whatever's in their terminal tackle box, but the hook makes or breaks your presentation. Use a thin wire finesse or Wacky style hook, not an EWG or heavy flipping hook. The lighter wire lets your worm move naturally and gives a better hook set. When I'm fishing with the Wacky rig, I'm almost always using the #1 split shot, drop shot hook or something close to that. If I go big at all, it's going to be to the 1/0 variety. If you're not going with the #1 or the 1/0, you're either too big or too small. If you go too small, you're gonna gut hook or simply skin hook the bass and probably lose many fish. If you go too big, they're gonna see your hook and you're likely not gonna get the bites. You're trying to get that subtle worm action. Whatever it takes for you to get the right fall rate, ensure that you have a bait that is plumb full of salt. That's gonna help you get that shimmy, shake, and all that good, lovely action inside of the water column. The next mistake that I see happening many times out there when fishing with the Wacky rig presentation is you're not using an O-ring or some sort of a band for your Wacky rig presentation. Every time you hook the plastic directly from these baits, you are throwing money into the lake, river, creek, or estuary. Almost always, one bass and that bait is simply destroyed. An O-ring not only saves your worm, it keeps the hook centered for better action and hook point penetration. You're losing many baits that are just going down to the bottom of the water column, and nobody wants that. Plus, you're throwing your hard-earned money away. Use O-rings, heat shrink, or some sort of a band. When you're out there fishing with the Wacky rig, there's plenty of ways to save bait, money, time, and frustration. Some will tell you to use heat shrink or simple little stirring straws. I don't really use those methods myself. I simply use these O-rings the majority of the time. They come in every color and every size you might need. You can get yourself a little O-ring tool from Academy, Bass Pro Shops, or online, anywhere you shop for fishing products, Tackle Warehouse, all those places. This is a very simple yet effective way of doing this. I really like the VMC crossover. These things are pretty expensive, but I'm telling you right now, I can catch 5 to 10 bass on one bait with one of these bands and never have an issue with them. Whether you want to use the O-rings or whether you want to use the VMC crossover band or any other type of brand that is out there, they work great for me and I think they'll work great for you as well. It's going to save you money instead of just hooking it through the center of a bait, especially if you're going with Gary Yamamoto or one of those salt-infused expensive baits. It's going to cost you a lot of money if you're only getting one bass for every single bait that you're throwing out there. And mistake number 3 is fishing it too fast. The Wacky rig is a finesse presentation, folks. If you are hopping it like a jig or reeling it like a crankbait, you are killing its natural action. Let it do the work. Cast, let it sink, twitch lightly, and pause. Most bites happen on the fall when using the Wacky rig presentation. Slow down your retrieves. Use light line. Somewhere between a 6 to 10 pound test, fluorocarbon or monofilament leader is fantastic. With number 3 and moving that bait too fast, a lot of times it's going to depend on your bait. Some of these baits, I like to use the Gary Yamamoto. These things are infused with a ton of salt. So their shimmer and their shake is unlike any other bait. No matter which bait you're using, understand the fall rate and the presentation and adjust your retrieve considerably depending on how much salt or how little salt that bait has as it's falling inside the water column. Many of these bass are all about that fall rate. Some are about the shimmer, the shake. Some want a faster fall rate. Some want a slower fall rate. On any given day, in the morning, they might want a fast fall rate. In the evening, they might want a slow fall rate. You have to make the adjustment. The bass is not going to make the adjustment. And if we're too stubborn, we're going to learn the hard way. One quick bonus tip for the smart ones who stayed around. We can use a 4-strand or an 8-strand braided material. I go with the 4-strand. It's cheaper. They say it's not as abrasion resistant. I've never had a problem with it. To me, on the 8-strand, you're just going to pay quite a bit more for no apparent reason. I go with the 4-strand Power Pro. I team that up 10 pound to 10 pound, 10 pound to 8 pound, 10 pound to 6 pound, depending on the species of fish that I am chasing. These are two incredible products. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I don't use this for any kind of sponsorship affiliation or brand affiliation whatsoever. I'm not gonna pass on discount codes. That's just not what I do. Hope you guys learned something on today's episode. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next episode of Aquaholic Fishing.